Welcome to the Airgun Show. The Brocock Compatto is here at last and we've got it on the test bench this week. But first, I'm back out on the farmyard after feral pigeons and we even managed to get a few with the scope cam. Right, the forecast for this afternoon is not good, so we've moved on to the farmyard where we can hopefully shelter from the elements amongst the farm buildings. We were here a few weeks ago and actually saw quite a few more feral pigeons than we'd expected, mostly because I'd laid off during the summer months and the birds had bred quite rapidly during that time. So I'm expecting we'll get quite a few kills today. Now, assuming that some of you might do the same and move your shooting in towards farm buildings as the weather turns rough towards the turn of the year, first of all, we'll just start by recapping some of the key points of shooting around the farmyard. Starting with the gun, my main demand for farmyard shooting is usually that it's fairly compact. I'm using the Airarms S510 Ultimate Sporter today, which is a nice short air gun. And that means when you're moving around in the confines of sheds and barns, close to a lot of concrete and steel pillars, there's less concern about bashing the muzzle. You can handle the gun a little bit more quickly because you're not always worried about dinging it as you raise it up to take that shot. Farmyard pest control needs to be fairly discreet, mostly because you're shooting near livestock that you don't want to spook. So for that reason, it's quite wise to have a moderator fitted to your air rifle just to hush down the muzzle blast. Although not essential, a multi-shot magazine-fed airgun can be a real asset for this kind of shooting. You often encounter large flocks of feral pigeons and you need to be able to shoot quickly to be able to exploit that before they wise up and clear off. Also, if you're planning to do some ratting around the farmyard after it gets dark, it saves you from fumbling for pellets to reload when you're shooting in complete darkness. In terms of optics, you don't need great magnification. I've got this one wound down to 6 times today because it gives me a wider field of view, quicker target acquisition, makes it easier for me to pick up what I'm aiming at and get those shots off quickly. Some people will argue that you need the bigger .22 or .25 calibre for farmyard pest control at close range. Now it could be argued that you do get greater knockdown power with those calibres, so they lend themselves a bit better if you're going for heart and lung area kill shots. However, I'm using a 177 today. I'm going to limit myself to headshots and the outcome with that is going to be exactly the same whatever calibre you're using. A quick word on clothing. I'm dressed in head-to-toe camo today, but it really isn't essential. There are going to be farm workers here for the majority of the day, every day, and they're just going to be wearing jeans or overalls and the birds are going to get accustomed to them. So it really doesn't matter what you wear as long as it keeps out the cold. Right, let's go and see if we can nail a few. Bit of a flurry there. That's about as many as I can get from this position. They've spooked across to the other side now. Right, a point that I make no apology for constantly reiterating is that you do have to respect that the farm is a place of work. That doesn't just mean paying absolute respect to the livestock, but also the buildings and machinery. I'm picking out birds here that are presented right against those steel joists that give me a really good, solid backdrop for my shots. I just don't want to risk making holes in the roof. Right, there are quite a few birds around, so what I'm going to do is get the scope cam on so you can see what I'm seeing, come back, try and bag a few more, maybe try a few other buildings as well. Right, we're good to go. Right, they're wising up, getting flighty now, so that's going to be my last one for this evening. I'm going to pick up the birds I can get to, get them onto the slurry pit and head for home. More feral pigeons for the ultimate sporter there. Now, it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news, brought to you by the Airgun Centre. Air Arms has won the UKA HFT Manufacturers Award for the second consecutive year. The Sussex-based gunmaker secured the prestigious award at the 2015 UKA HFT Series Gathering. Air Arms Managing Director Claire West described the team's success as phenomenal and thanked the shooters, captained by Pete Sparks, for their support and commitment. Equipped with focusable LED lenses to quickly shift from spot to flood, Tracer's new gun lights have got this winter's lamping duties covered. The F400 comes with white, green or red beam, while the F600 enables you to switch between white, red, green and blue light with just one torch. The F900 has a stepless dimmer, casts a beam out to 800 meters and comes with interchangeable white, red, green and IR LEDs. Supplied in a tough plastic carry case, these kits include rechargeable battery and mains charger, stock mounted switch, mounts for 1-inch and 30mm scopes and a removable snoot. A new country sports newspaper is making its way across the UK. Gamefair Gazette is full of shooting, fishing and gun dog content and is getting widespread release in the run-up to next year's UK Game Fair. Its publishers have said it's the field sports equivalent of Metro. Get a copy for free at your local shooting ground, gun shop, fishing outlet or country clothing retailer, and visit ukgamefair.com for the latest on country sports' new flagship event. There's hot news from Daystate HQ as the top-end airgun maker produced a limited edition version of the Huntsman Regal, just in time for Christmas. Tony Beelis gave us all the details.
Daystate Griffin Special Edition, fitted with a match-grade Lothar-Walther barrel, still air muzzle flip compensator which is adjustable to change the way the pellet exits the barrel. It's fitted with a long XL cylinder to increase the shot count and help improve the consistency. It has an adjustable front end palm rest or hamster which can be moved backwards, forward, up and down, and also can be reversed depending on what you want it to do. It has an adjustable cheek piece which can also move backwards, forwards, up and down, and indeed an adjustable butt pad. There's only 150 being made and the price is £1,550.
And finally, BSA Guns has released a video revealing the complex processes that go into the production of its famous cold hammer forged barrels. To see the lengths the Birmingham-based gunmaker goes to achieve optimum accuracy from every one of its air rifles, visit bsaguns.co.uk. That was the Airgun Show news.
The launch of the Brocock Compatto has been eagerly awaited since we got a glimpse of an early version at the IWA show in Germany back in March. It's been a long time coming, but my first impression is that this little airgun has been worth waiting for. The gun on the test bench is a pre-production model, but production Compattos should be in the shops by the time you see this. And if this one's anything to go by, they're going to be brilliant. Brocock have a reputation for doing things differently, and the Compatto maintains that theme, starting with its semi-bullpup configuration, which makes for a stylish and compact airgun. It measures just 83 centimetres from end to end, and Brocock say that production models will weigh around 3 kilos. And because it's a semi-bullpup, I find it much more comfortable to shoot than out-and-out bullpup airguns. The ambidextrous synthetic stock looks really neat and also makes for a very comfortable hold. The fore end is plenty long enough, even for me, and the cheek piece is just the right height. Certainly not the sort of compromise you might expect from some bullpups. Also, the butt pad is adjustable up and down so you can get fit just right. The steep rake of the pistol grip leaves you perfectly poised for the trigger, and the large cutaway behind it will accommodate even the biggest of hands. There's an accessory rail at the fore end, and the rear of the stock has already been drilled to accept a QR stud if you want to fit a sling. The Compatto's engineering appears to be first rate, and the anti-glare finish of the metalwork looks really good. The scope rails cut into the breech are a little bit too far back for mounting a conventional scope, but that problem is completely eliminated by the reach forward intermount. Filling the Compatto with air is a doddle. Simply turn the dust collar at the front of the cylinder to access the inlet, push in the quick fill probe and fill to 200 bar. There's a gauge at the front of the cylinder to keep an eye on air reserves. It's just a pity you have to put your head around the front of the gun to look at it. I did manage to squeeze around 100 shots at about 11 foot-pounds from the 177 caliber test gun. However, it does have a distinct sweet spot between about 170 and 100 bar in the fill, between which you'll get about 80 shots. Personally, I'd be more inclined to sacrifice those few shots for optimum consistency, and you can probably expect to get a few more from .22 caliber. The Compatto runs a really smooth 10-shot magazine that's very easy to fill thanks to its wide cutaway. Lift the side bolt from its retained position and pull it all the way back to cycle the magazine and cock the gun. Then push it forwards to probe home the pellet. It's very slick and worked without a single snag during our testing. The two-stage adjustable trigger is really impressive. The wide flat blade gives great feel as the fairly light first stage comes to a discernible stop before braking cleanly and predictably with absolutely no hint of creep. There's a paddle style safety catch just in front of the trigger blade. You push it from left to right to make the gun safe, then push it back from the right with your trigger finger if you're a right-hander when you're ready to take the shot. It's a little bit too close to the trigger for my liking, but it is very positive and I can't deny that its positioning makes for very fast operation. The power adjustment dial on the side of the breech could come in very handy for indoor pest control. You turn it all the way anti-clockwise to wind up to maximum power and then turn it clockwise to wind the power levels down. We don't yet know what the exact calibrations will be on production models. The Brocock Compatto boasts an impressive array of features. It's blowing an absolute gale here today, but we'll put it to work on some paper and see what we can get it to group like. Well, I'll take that at 25 metres on a breezy day. One of the shots did get pushed away by the wind, but a couple of them went through the same hole. I reckon the group was still within about 20 millimetres from centre to centre, so that Lowther-Walther barrel certainly doing its job in the accuracy stakes. It's also quite a quiet airgun to shoot, because you do get some sound suppression from the barrel shroud. However, if you wanted to hush it right down for hunting, it is threaded to accept a silencer. The airgunning community has been looking forward to Brocock's latest release, and I don't think anybody is going to be disappointed. The Compatto has got a raft of innovative features and its build quality feels rock solid. Most impressive of all, its price tag is just £589. It may not be very big, but you still get a heck of a lot of gun for your money. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, it's time you joined the organisation that works to promote and protect your sport.